Hey everyone, it's me. I am a person. So, a few things have happened within the art community, and I want to talk about them because I think this entire week has been truly a disastrous thing to watch. So, to start off, start at the beginning of this. Uh, the 10-year anniversary of Ark Survival Evolved, or just Ark in general. And you know what? That's pretty cool. So, the devs put out this fun video, like, just showing, like, the history of the entire game. Like, oh yeah, here's the initial release. Here's, like, when all the other DLCs, like, released. Here's when some of our side games that we had, that we apparently did, released. And all this other stuff. Like, here's Ascended. Here's some of the events that we've done. And it's like this really nice video of celebrating the 10 years of Ark. So, Studio Wildcard, I just want to say, like, oh, congratulations. 10 years going strong in, like, this game. The quality is very debatable. But, having a game last this long for 10 years is really, very, very cool, very, very exciting. So, you know what? If they just did this for a 10 years of Ark games, just a simple just celebration that they've been here for 10 years, that'd be perfectly fine. But the real note is the publisher, Snail Games. So, immediately after this, Ark's publisher, Snail Games, released this trailer for a new DLC for Ark Aquatica. So it's an underwater DLC for Ark, and you go, okay, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see what this trailer's about. So it starts off with this, which very weird. It's like, okay, why are we with Ark Evolved gameplay and not Ark Ascended gameplay, the new one? And then that's when it hits you. The entire thing's AI generated. The entire fucking thing is AI generated. Like, genuinely everything.
Adventure. All of those journeys.
Like,
those fights for survival.
Like, I don't know what to say here.
Have been leading to this.
Like, AI generated voice? AI generated videos? Honestly, probably AI fucking music as well.
A whole new world is waiting.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what are these things doing? Like, it just looks so bad. But anyways, you get the point. It's an entirely AI-generated video. I quickly realized that I also forgot to mention another thing that I'm really annoyed about for Ark Aquatica. And it's the fact that apparently, there's going to be an actual story in Ark Aquatica, and that story revolves around the origins of Element, which is a huge bombshell to drop, because, like, for the longest time, the origin of Element has never really been explained. Like, it kind of just appeared one day, and that's really about all we know. So, them wanting to put this, like, big, just like, here's where Element comes from in a DLC for a game that is no longer updated is just so miserable. Like, why would they put such a big, why would they want to answer such a big question in the old game instead of their new fucking game? And it just looks awful. Like, looking through here, you see some of the awesome animations. Look at that squid. You've never seen anything like that. But anyways, so there's actually like an actual gameplay trailer, but honestly, it does not look good as either. Like, this looks fucking awful. Like, I don't know what they were thinking here. So, the immediate first thing that you may notice, this is on Ark Evolved, and not Ark Ascended, their new game. But look at like you're not even like swimming underwater. You're in like you're fucking walking on like just the ground. And like all like the aquatic creatures are just floating up in the air. Like it just everything about it just looks so like look at this. Okay, before like that just looks awful. Like it has no style or sauce that like the regular Arc trailers at least like kinda have, you know? Like this is literally just like them like grabbing a character, just aiming it somewhere and just cropping out like the hotbar. Like I used to do this. This is what I used to do for like background footage. But, like yeah, it's just completely awful this entire like thing. And like what's even funnier is that afterwards, the devs actually did post this. Arc Aquatica is being developed by Snail Games USA, Colorado. Please follow them for more updates. Studio Wildcard remains entirely dedicated to the production of Ark Survival Ascended and Ark 2, and we're excited to bring you Ark Lost Colony to you later this year. So, basically, they immediately they're like, yeah, we're not doing this. This is not our product. This is entirely our publisher's product, Snail Games, which is really weird to think about. The developers themselves aren't doing this, but the publisher are. Which it's really odd. So yeah, so you see some of like the footage here. You know, it looks awful. Like this does not look like it's underwater. And it's on it's on the old Arc as well. It's not on the new version, it's on the old version. So you know, any of the fancy stuff that you know, because at least with Arc Ascended, you know, it looks pretty. Like, it at least looks nice to the eye. This just looks awful. So, yeah. So, it's been an entire debacle, you know. If we go back to the original AI trailer here, it's just people just clowning on the thing. Like, even, like, the biggest guys in, like, the community here. Like, Syntac, this guy is, like, one of the biggest Arc YouTubers. Even he is, like, absolutely disgusted. And, like, everyone else here is, like, you know, really annoyed that they decided to use AI for this. And, you know, and also just on the principle of they're releasing DLC for a game that they have said they are no longer updating. Like, why are you doing that? And, like, to be fair, a good chunk of people are still on Arc Evolved. A good chunk of people are still on there. And I guess the publisher, they just see us as wallets. Like, Snail Games just sees us as walking wallets. Like, the fucking... how Stan sees the tourists as fucking wallets. Like, that's how they see us. They unironically see us as just wallets. And so they're like, oh my god, everyone's on the old version of Arc. We already said that we're not going to update this anymore. But, you know what? Well, we need the money. We need money. We want money. Give us money. We don't want these people to be using our product without paying us. Give us money. And it's so... awful. And it's even worse because I forget where I don't know where exactly they said this, but they have said that they'll be bringing back official servers on Evolved for a limited amount of time to be able to so that you can play it. And it's so dumb because they took down the original official servers to fucking bring them over to Arc Ascended. Like, they took them down and they're bringing them back. Not even forever. It's only for a limited time, just because Aquatica released. So after a certain amount of time, the only way that you could play Arc Aquatica is going to be either unofficial servers, or you just have to host your own, just single player. And like, it's just so dumb. It's genuinely so dumb. Like, this one like announcement completely like destroyed like the 10-year celebration of Arc. It is just like a laughing stock. Like, genuinely, it's just probably like one of the most miserable things to possibly happen. You know, like one of your favorite games just starts like the developer just starts or not the developer, the publisher. I need to keep this in mind. This is Snail Games doing this themselves. I knowing Wildcard, seeing from their previous statements that they have done, they are heavily against this. This seems something that the publisher is just forcing to become a thing. Like, I'm pretty sure the devs just don't want anything to do with this. as for their statement here of just them just distancing themselves. And you know what? That's a good thing. So yeah. So the 10-year celebration of Ark, very soured now. But we have an actual thing to celebrate though. Lost Colony. So I'm just gonna play this trailer here.
Like to want someone back with you more than anything?
I do. I loved someone once. Very much.
What happened to her?
I had to leave her behind. Mayin's story continued to the far side of the earth, into frozen wastes shrouded in endless night, where a small pocket of humanity managed to survive the long cataclysm, in a place called Arat Prime. But what she found instead...
What? What was it?
There she found the stuff of nightmares.
So that was the trailer that they released for their new DLC coming, Lost Colony. And you know what? This is an actually good, like, this is like a really good celebration. Something that they should be proud of. Because this looks really cool. So they continued on explaining here. So Ark Lost Colony is a full-size canonical expansion pack featuring a new map, creatures, items, structures, and a continuation of the story of Ark. Lost Colony drops you into a massive occupied city packed with dangers as you become the hunted and gain access to powerful new kinds of character abilities, unique gear, building systems, and exotic tames. The epic new story of Ark Lost Colony bridges the gap from Ark Extinction to Ark Genesis and into the world of Ark 2. Will survivors be able to face down the evil lurking in Arat Prime and connect Ark's past and future? So, they released this awesome trailer. If I go into the Steam page here, there's a few more screenshots here. This is really cool. You know, I really like this. So, some more details on the Steam page. Confront the demons of Arat Prime, birthplace of the Arks, in ASA's first massive canonical expansion pack, Ark Lost Colony. Starring Michelle Yeoh as Mei Ying in cinematic anime... Starring Michelle Yeoh as Mei Yin in cinematic anime sequences by legendary Japanese studio MAPPA. The epic new story of Ark Lost Colony bridges the gap from Ark Extinction to Ark Genesis and into the world of Ark 2. And so this continues on with like, oh yeah, there's new stuff to do. Something about character abilities. Also, it mentions that there's a city, it's like, but beware, the frozen wastes of Arat Prime are not devoid of intelligent life. On the contrary, the city has become a war-torn battleground between twisted element-powered factions seeking to undo what was accomplished at the end of Ark Extinction. So, if we look at the trailer once more, these factions are most likely fucking vampires, because, you know, that's a vampire right there. So, they've introduced vampires into Ark. Which I think is pretty cool. A little bit, you know, on the more like interesting side. You know, because like how are they really gonna bring this together throughout the entirety of the arc lore? But I think overall it makes sense. So, from the looks of it, this here is Arat Prime, or at least like a repurposed Arat Prime that's been taken over by like I guess like vampires. So, in the story, Arat Prime is where I guess where like the arcs were kind of created, or yeah, just where the arcs were created. Uh, and due to like the element war, since the Earth stopped rotating, you have one side that's always bright, and now you have one side that's like always dark. So this is the like the dark side of Earth, and I guess like and from my personal theory is that these vampires are humans that have evolved to survive the night, because if the Earth is just like locked to one side always having sunlight and the other side always being dark, the people on the dark side have to evolve somehow to survive, just in the constant night. So that's where the vampires come from. But yeah, the city's pretty cool, pretty interesting. You have like these watchtowers that are kind of like scattered throughout. You have this really big castle. So I'm very curious as to what can happen, or like what this castle really is, because this does not look because like Arab Prime being like this really big looking castle does feel a little odd, but I'm still very excited to see how this will play. So yeah, full release in November 2025, priced at $30, which is a little bit more on the expensive side. The DLCs were usually $15 if I'm correct. So you know, it being double the price, very interesting to see what they're gonna do. The descriptions that they've used here definitely imply there's gonna be a lot more stuff to do. Very interested on the character abilities here that they mentioned, and there's like some other cool stuff, you know, since there's gonna be anime sequences by by Mappa, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so just kind of final thoughts of me ranting here. 10 years happen. The Arc Aquatica, you know, looks absolutely awful. Yeah, it's just miserable. Like I'm not gonna buy Arc Aquatica. Like I think the AI trailer, it looking like this, and also it releasing on Arc Evolved, I think that's just enough of a deterrence to not want to buy Arc Aquatica. Because from the sounds of it, since Arc Aquatica is developed by Snail Games only and not Studio Wildcard, the Studio Wildcard probably are not going to get like much money from this, I imagine. And just giving a bunch of money to Snail Games like willingly on something that they willingly made, you know, it just seems really bad. But at least we have Arc Lost Colony. At least we have this, you know, actually looking good. You know, we actually got like a really good trailer for it, or at least a teaser trailer for it. You know, we got an animated trailer, like an actually like pretty decently animated trailer, compared to the AI trailer here. So all I can say is I am very excited for Lost Colony, but I am not excited for Aquatica at all. But anyways, I think I'm done ranting now because I don't really know what else to say. So yeah, there's my opinions on the recent things that have been happening here. Alright, well, have a good day, everyone.